Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. This is the 20th video of the Learning and Evolving from Past Practitioner series, a video series aiming to introduce important historical figures in the internal style of martial arts and Shoudao practice. 5 years ago, I made a video introducing Cheng Tinghua, a prominent martial artist in the internal style history, and his contributions, such as the creation of the Cheng Style Ba Gua. Link to that video is in the description. Cheng Tinghua's teaching influenced many other branches of later Bagua styles, as very often he represented Dong Haichuan in teaching Dong's other students. To align with other videos of the Learning and Evolving from Past Practitioner series, I'd like to reorganize the content and add more information about him in today's video. Following the same structure, I'd like to answer a couple of questions asked by community members on last week's video about Zhang Zhaodong, a key Xingyi master and founder of Xingyi Bagua style. Dan Ryan, a student of mine, sent me an email, quote, I was intrigued by the mention of Zhonghua Wu Shihui. I have never heard of this before. I'm hoping that in the future video you can elaborate on this some more. If you Google it, you'll find all sorts of characters claiming to be the modern day version of this. I'm curious how this compares to the Jingwu Athletic Association. You mentioned that the Zhonghua Wu Shihui was the first of its kind, so I'm assuming it was opened before the Jingwu. Also, has it been corrupted by the Chinese government the way that Jingwu has? There is a new Jingwu museum now in China, but they try to downplay what the martial artists did and focus on gymnastics and weighting lift. As the former students of Eagle Claw, I already know the truth and have studied many forms from the Jingwu, end quote. His question involves a lot of historical information, and I have his consent to mention his name and answer this publicly. The Zhonghua Wu Shihui, or Chinese Martial Artists Association, founded by Li Cunyi, and the Jingwu Athletic Association, founded by Huo Yuanjia, are two separate organizations. Despite the similar name, they differ in founding date, location, goals, and development paths. Zhonghua Wu Shihui, or the Chinese Martial Artists Association, was founded by Li Cunyi, Zhang Zhaodong, and others around 1910 in Tianjin. Jingwu Athletic Association, or Jingwu Tiyuhui, originally also called Zhonghua Wu Zhihui, was founded by Huo Yuanjia and his followers in Shanghai. Huo Yuanjia was from Tianjin. In 1909, he went to Shanghai to participate in a martial arts competition. Soon after, he passed away in Shanghai from a disease. After Huo's death, it was officially renamed the Jingwu Athletic Association, or Jingwu Tiyuhui, in 1910. As for the nature and the purpose of these two organizations, Zhonghua Wu Shihui promoted traditional martial arts, especially Xingyi. It also focused on training patriots, bodyguards, and martial professionals. Jingwu Athletic Association was a non-sectarian, non-religious, public martial arts and physical education organization, advocating martial morality, national strengthening, and scientific fitness. Zhonghua Wu Shihui was sponsored by different levels of governments, while Jingwu Tiyuhui was not, which was a key element to a different development path, making Zhonghua Wu Zhihui the first martial arts organization to be supported by governments to use modern methods for teaching the traditional practice. By the way, Huo Yuanjia was from Xiaonanhe village, Tianjin, the same as my paternal grandmother. So I know a lot of information about him. I will talk about Huo Yuanjia in the future. Then, that was some basic information about the two organizations. A comprehensive answer is not possible in a Q&A. I will try to go into more detail in the future, but I hope that helps. Now, let's move on to today's main topic, the introduction of Cheng Tinghua. Cheng Tinghua, a famous Bagua master, was born in 1848 and died in 1900. Originally from Shenzhen, Hebei province, he moved to Beijing for work. He practiced wrestling in the beginning, and then he practiced Bagua with Dong Haichuan, the main Bagua promoter in Beijing, also very often perceived to be the founder of that style. It is well known that Dong Haichuan taught his students according to their previous training backgrounds. In the case of Cheng Tinghua, Dong Haichuan taught Cheng Tinghua based on Cheng's wrestling training. This type of palm technique is called the soft palm system. Cheng styles has a unique body moving method, which can be likened to a dragon swimming in the ocean. Therefore, people call it the swimming body palm. Cheng Style Ba Gua has a lot of wrestling elements. For example, its palm shape appears ready to grab the opponent. The mud winding walking is directly borrowed from Chinese wrestling, and its body motion and many key movements such as 走马活擒 or capture alive while riding the horse are all influenced by wrestling. Cheng Tinghua was shot to death at the age of 52 when China was invaded by the Eight Nation Alliance. Before he passed away, he mainly practiced and taught Bagua in the south region of Beijing. So people used to call his style South City Bagua or Nancheng Bagua instead of Cheng style. In contrast, Yan style, the Bagua style created by Yan Fu, was called North City Bagua because Yan Fu mainly practiced and taught his Bagua in the north region of Beijing City. Research had shown that Cheng Tinghua was the first person to adopt circle walking as the main stepping method in the Bagua system. To be clear, circle walking and circular pattern stepping are two totally different things. In the early stage of Bagua training in Beijing, circle walking was not the main stepping pattern, but only a part of it. In other words, practitioners did not practice walking along a circle like nowadays. Instead, they practiced stepping mainly along zigzag, circular, and linear patterns. Many single movements and linear routines, such as sit for palms, were popular back then. We also know that to practice wrestling, nowadays people practice on a mat or a pad. However, back to a century ago, there was no such equipment for wrestlers. In order not to get injured, many wrestling schools used a sand pole or shakeng to practice. Cheng Tinghua, a wrestler, had a sand pole as well in his wrestling school. After he started teaching Bagua, there were more and more students coming to him, and it became difficult to accommodate his students if they followed the conventional stepping pattern. To solve this problem, he creatively asked his students to practice stepping on a boundary along his sand pole. As a result, Bagua circle walking became the main stepping pattern. In the late Qing dynasty, the political situation was turbulent. Although Empress Dowager Cixi, the real head of the state, was protected by highly skilled martial arts bodyguards, she still feared assassination attempts. Therefore, she sought to win over martial arts masters from all over to enhance her security. At that time, Bagua was renowned throughout the martial art community in Beijing. The Yan and the Cheng schools of Bagua were especially famous in the capital. Empress Dowager Cixi sent officials to persuade Cheng Tinghua to become her bodyguard. However, Cheng declined the imperial invitation, using the reason that he had to care for her elderly mother, so that he could continue to promote martial arts more freely. As a result, Cixi ordered the local government to present the Cheng family with a plaque. The inscription on the plaque reads 节孝可封, which can be translated as chastity and filial piety can be a model. This was a popular form of praise at the time, and it was considered a great honor. Also, since Cheng Tinghua passed away very early, he did not have sufficient time to organize his style. Therefore, many branches of different Cheng Style Ba Gua developed based on his system have different curricula. It is worth mentioning that many people mistakenly believe this photograph to be of Cheng Tinghua. In fact, this is incorrect, as the photo is actually of Cheng Tinghua's eldest son, Cheng Youlong. Since no photographs of Cheng Tinghua himself have survived, many people, in an effort to commemorate him, have mistakenly taken this image as his own. In recent decades, due to the lack of preserved photos of many martial arts pioneers, it had become common for people to misattribute images to certain historical figures. For example, the supposed photos of Li Luoneng, the founder of Xingyi, and Cheng Tinghua, the founder of the Cheng Style Ba Gua, are in fact not of them. Many Chinese people prefer to have a tangible idol to look up to, which inevitably leads to the phenomenon of mistaken identity, a cultural trait. Perhaps, of course, when some individuals go so far as to print such photos on t-shirts and sell them, that becomes another issue entirely. The uniqueness of Cheng Style Ba Gua lies in the perfect integration of its refined palm techniques, footwork, and body movements. As its core is the principle, palm technique as the focus, footwork as the foundation, and the body method as the essence, or 掌法为主, 步法为根, 身法为本, emphasizing the harmony between internal and external, and the unity of movement into a single flowing integration. In terms of palm techniques, the signature dragon claw palm, or 龙爪掌, embodies a balance of hardness and softness. It features powerful actions such as pushing, lifting, guiding, and leading, along with flexible twisting and wrapping movements. These techniques require solidity and circular fluidity in order to have a powerful martial energy in combat. Technically, the method of swimming body circling to move inward, or 由深绕近, and diagonal exit and direct entry, or 斜出正入, allows the practitioner to navigate offense and defense with ease. Techniques like escaping while vanishing and striking from behind display a high level of tactical wisdom. Visually, the movements of Cheng Style Ba Gua are inspired by animals such as the dragon, monkey, and eagle, categorized by bold, expansive motions with graceful, dynamic aesthetics. Thanks to the effort of several generations, the Cheng Style Ba Gua system has become highly refined and complete. Its main training method include various fixed form palm techniques, the 8 big palms or Bagazhang, linked forms, as well as weapons such as the spear, broadsword, and the straight sword. It is truly a well-rounded and comprehensive martial arts system. For the past 20 years, I have been working on developing Cheng style 6-4 palms routines. When Cheng Youlong, the elder son of Cheng Tinghua, moved to Tianjin from Beijing, he started to create the Cheng style 6-4 palms, or the 64 individual small routines representing 64 techniques of Bagua. Unfortunately, he did not finish the creation before his passing away. I have learned from different students of Cheng Youlong and have been working on the further developments of his practice. It was completed a few years ago. Many students in Montreal and some students around the world learned it from me. The completion of the creation, as well as the restructuring and reorganization of 6-4 palms, is my original contribution to the style. Let me share a few moments from it. So that was Cheng Tinghua. That brings us to the end of today's video. I hope all of you found today's topic interesting and informative. Please post your questions about Cheng Tinghua, his practice, or his lineage in the comment section. I will answer them for you in the first part of next week's video. Thanks for watching. See you next time and enjoy your practice.